series and created 11 full-length episodes that finishes the 5-year mission of the Enterprise and perfectly brings closure and resolution to the original series. And my childhood hero, my parents divorced when I was 9 and my dad wasn't around, and there was this guy who was the captain of this ship, and he had these friends and they would go on adventures together, and he was, and he was this awesome character. And so when I created this series, Star Trek Continues, I decided, I would get to fulfill my childhood dream of playing Captain Kirk. And so check it out, by the way, shameless plug. StarTrekContinues.com. We have 15 million plus views, and this guy right here is the most amazing Dr. McCoy you'll ever see.
And I remember when he asked me, I was like, what are we doing in your mom's basement with cardboard sets? What? And then he'd call me like a couple weeks. I was like, yes, of course, I'll do whatever you ask me to do. I'm there for you, bro. Because Vic, he did one of my early movies, and when you do that, you work for your friends, and you love working for your friends because you want to support them. But then he'd call me every every 6 weeks with new news about the series. He's like, Chuck, you're never gonna believe it. We got Grant Imahara to play Sulu. And I was like, what? And then he'd be like, Chris Doohan, son of James Doohan, is gonna play our Scotty. And I was like, I thought we were in your mom's basement. What's going on? And then we'd have these big guest stars coming in, Lou Ferrigno, just all the John Delancey. I got to do a scene with Q, and I was a huge Next Gen fan. So it's still a highlight of my entire career. It's one of the top 3 things I've ever done in my life, for sure. But if I got to do any character that I wanted to do, I'm currently writing a play for him. He's also in a limited series that my producing partner is shopping right now. But I would like to play Nikola Tesla, but in a way that the CIA would be angry at, to show his real power and not the whitewashed historical account of him. Because I believe he's a dimensional traveler and probably could shoot sparks out his fingers. I don't know.
Anyone else? Make sure you raise your hand for new questions.
Hey guys.
Don't you lecture me with your $30 haircut.
Joseph, right?
Yes.
Joseph and Joseph.
Yes.
There we go. JoJo.
Maybe, yeah. All right, full metal question. The Stormy Life album, what was your initial reaction when you read that script about the him sacrificing his daughter to make a nightmare out of the dog? Like, what was your initial reaction?
I believe my reaction was this. I went, yeah. And then I watched the series and I was like, I'm a horrible monster. I mean, I thought it was, you love, if you're going to play a bad guy, you want him to be incredibly bad. And I don't think there's anything worse than what he did, because he did something that had not really been done. I can't find another example of it where a father ruins the family dog and his daughter, but doesn't kill them. He just combines them and they're tortured like that. And he does it for reasons that he really truly believes in. And it's just the most, and I think a lot of what happened was parents were letting kids watch anime, and Full Metal came along and they're like, you can watch it, sure, not realizing that it was gonna scar their souls. And so I still have people come up to the table and they're still scarred by it, and they're pretend angry at me. Just on TikTok the other day, somebody asked, were you in Full Metal Alchemist? So I put a wig on my pug. And I was like, oh, Nina, you're such a cute. And I gotta say, it's pretty horrifying with the dog from the series, but with a pug, it's even worse. Even worse.
That scene in that episode was the moment that I realized that Full Metal was not the typical anime. Honestly, we had just started, and of course, the first episode was fun out in the desert with Father Cornello and Lior, and you know, a lot of short jokes and pipsqueak midget stuff and everything, and then that came along with Tucker and Nina and Alexander the dog, and I'm like, oh, what a sweet show! Oh my! Ah! The moment it happened, I was like, this show just took a serious turn, and from that moment on, I took the whole series much more seriously, because you know, anyone that was willing to do something like that in the show, like, this is going to be a great show.
Favorite villain?
Favorite villain in anything or like animation? Dragon Ball villain. Oh. Well, I mean, I would face off with Brian Drummond a lot, just Vegeta. And it's like we would have battles that, not just on camera, but I mean, in the script, we would be fighting for weeks. And literally, it would be like, ah! And then the episode would end, and then it would be like 2 weeks till the next recording. And we're like, oh, where were we last time? These battles seem to go on for months in the studio. So for me, that was the most fun villain, if you want to call him that I would go up against.
I would say Broly is my favorite villain, but I don't think he's a villain. I think he's a hero. He's definitely the hero of the series. Don't you agree? Don't you agree? And you know, my favorite Dragon Ball joke is, how many Dragon Ball characters does it take to screw in a light bulb? It only takes 2, but it takes 38 episodes.